Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video from yours truly. I'm sorry it took so long for me to get to this point. I have been fighting off a cold and just been extremely busy with my new project, which you guys will be finding out really soon. But I finally managed to come on here, and we are going to be talking about something I love very much, and it's going to be a whole month dedicated to this. And it's going to be on Disney, and it's going to be a section I like to call Let's Talk Disney. I am going to be talking about classics only dating up to the 60s, and I just really love Disney, and I want to talk about, one of my favorites. So let's start with the one that started it all, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Released in 1937, the story is about a young maiden who runs away from home when her evil stepmother vows to kill her because she is quote-unquote the fairest of the land. And her stepmother being a vain, selfish woman, it's best that she runs off. Well, here she runs into a little cabin in the woods, which is a home of 7 little dwarfs. While she rests there and takes shelter in their kindness, the evil stepmother plans on killing her by disguising herself as a peddler and getting her to eat an enchanted apple that will put her in a quote-unquote sleeping death that can only be wakened up by true love's kiss. I'm just going to say right off the bat, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is one of my all-time favorites. It's been a favorite of mine since childhood. I absolutely love Snow White. I love the film. I love her. For me personally, one of the best things about this film is how wonderful it is. And I'm not talking about the nostalgia. I'm talking the style, the way everything is animated, the story, how it's not a very long flowing story. It's very simple, but it's easy to get involved. You care about Snow White. I don't care if quote unquote she's bland compared to other Disney princesses, especially today's decades and stuff. I don't care about that. I care about her. And I love how she's animated. Yes, I have heard the reference that she looks like Betty Boop. And I do get that reference. I do think she does look like her, even sounds like her a bit. And I understand a lot of people don't like her because of how she sounds. I can get behind that too. I have a close friend who doesn't like Snow White because of her voice. Again, totally understandable. But I just love this movie, and one of my favorite things about this is it's so relaxing for me. It's kind of in that segment of films for me personally, like with The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz I've seen 1,000 times, and I can sit and watch it when I'm sick, when I'm sad. It's something I can turn on, and it's not a turn your brain off movie. It's a let's sit down and relax and enjoy these wonderful performances and characters that are very simple but relatable in many aspects. And Snow White for me is the embodiment of that feeling of relaxation and getting behind a character that you can care about. One of the things I love about Snow White is, although people say she's bland, she's not a one-trick pony where she only has one emotion. She goes through many emotions. Yes, she's mostly happy, but she can be scared. She can be sad. And I love her. I really love her character. I have heard that the real-life actress was kind of prevented from playing other roles because of Disney. I don't know how true that is, because this was the one that quote-unquote started it all. And Snow White was the first ever full-length feature film for Disney. Disney had to put up his house for this film, okay? This was Disney's folly, okay? People thought he was nuts. So he didn't really have that kind of power, I don't think, to prevent an actress or actor from going to another studio. I don't know how true that is. I know it's been mainstream. Now, if the actress actually said this, then okay. But I don't know if the actress ever said this. It could have been just hearsay. So I really don't know what the story is behind that. So, if anyone knows about that, leave it in the comments below, I guess. Aside from Snow White, I think one of the things that people remember most are the seven dwarfs, and right they are. They are so full of personalities. My personal favorite is Bashful, because he's just so cute. And actually, to be honest, I think he's the only one I really, really like. But I will admit, the most relatable one that the one I relate to the most is Sneezy. I do relate to Sneezy a lot. And he was one of the ones I never cared for. I still don't really personally care for Sneezy, but I can relate to him, believe it or not. But my favorite, sorry, my favorite has always been Bashful. And my mom's favorite is always Grumpy. So, and I know Grumpy is a favorite among many, many people. Can we also just mention the music? How simple, but yet how fun the music is. I mean, you got Hi Ho, It's Off to Work We Go, or again, another work song, Just Whistle While You Work. I sing that song when I'm in a mood at work because I literally clean for a living. So those are fun songs to listen to. Not to mention, you got Wishing Well and Someday My Prince Will Come. The actual score to this is also very well done. I love the score to this film. Not just the music, but the actual score. And it's just really, really nice. I especially love the portion where the witch leaves the house after she quote unquote kills Snow White, and the dwarves all go after her, and that music just pumps up. I really love that portion of the score. I also love the ending where this choir comes out and sings Someday My Prince Will Come. It's so gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, how about we talk about the animation? This being the first full-length animated feature, I think the animation holds up extremely well. I love the colors and the pictures. The opening shot is breathtakingly gorgeous, almost like a painted picture. And I love the ending with the sunset and the castle in the clouds. It's just so beautiful. I will say, I also love, this is just me, I love the 30s style, okay? I can look at these characters and go, oh, they're so from the 30s, and I love it. It's so nice. I will admit that they did a much better job after this film when they did Pinocchio. They really reached the heights of updating and making their animation a lot more clear, I think, a lot more sharper, but I absolutely love the style of this animation. It's just so lovely to look at. And the characters all have great expressions. So I can't complain too much about that. Kind of a random moment. The one thing I never got as a kid that I think I understand now are the vultures. We see the witch go to do her deed, and these two vultures are following her. As a kid, I thought they were her secret pets, which, okay, but as an adult, I'm pretty sure I understand why they're there. So there's that. Speaking of a little bit of Wizard of Oz comparison, is probably why I love this movie so much, is because it's related a teensy bit to The Wizard of Oz. Mostly because when they made The Wizard of Oz, they looked at this movie for certain things. One of the things was the Wicked Witch. Those who know your Wizard of Oz trivia know this. Those who don't, let me refresh you. So, when they were trying to cast the Wicked Witch of the West, they wanted her a more sexy, sultry cut type of witch. A lot like the evil queen in this film. But I think it was Mervyn Leroy, that was like, no, we don't want a sexy witch. We want an evil witch. I'm pretty sure it was Mervyn Leroy. I could be wrong about that. Leave it down in the comment below if I am. But I'm pretty sure it was him. Anyway, so again, they were like, no, you have to have the witch like gross, like evil, like the evil crone. And that's what's interesting to me, because if you look at this film, yes, the evil queen is quite lovely for what she is, but she turns into an old hag. And if you look at it, it could also be a double meaning where on the outside, that's how she looks. But really on the inside, that's how she does look because she's pure evil. And I think that was, I mean, that's just an idea from me. But anyway, but that is the whole idea with the Wicked Witch thing. So that was, I think, one reason why I just love this movie so much too, because The Wizard of Oz took some inspiration from this film. Whether you like this movie or not, you can't deny that it had a really big impact on the world at the time. It was a mega hit. It made Walt Disney money and continued to be a big, selling point. It's what made Disney Disney. It's how he got his start. And okay, maybe not his start, but it's what paved the way to him making more content, more stories. And the film won its own Oscar, for crying out loud, along with 7 mini ones. That's unique. There's never been an Oscar in history that I'm aware of that's been as unique as this. So there's a lot of great things associated with this movie. Another thing to look at this is, even if you don't like this film because of the date, I want you to think back to when this movie came out. It was during the Great Depression. People didn't want realistic things at that time. They were looking for escapism. And Snow White gave them that, along with many other films. And this was one of the perfect films to escape to. And in my book, that's okay. Another thing I want to point out before I forget, a lot of people talk about the prince and the lack of his character. To me, that doesn't bother me. As an adult, I can actually look at this and go, technically the prince is not a character. He's more of a plot device, I think. And that's okay. Okay, the story is about Snow White and her travels, and, well, okay, not her travels, her journey, so to speak. And yes, she falls in love with the prince, and yes, she doesn't really know him that well. But when the happy ending comes, do we really care? I know I don't. I love seeing a happy ending, and I love seeing Snow White get what she deserves. And that is everything positive because of how hardworking and how caring of a person she really is. And that is basically my 2 cents on Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little review. Sorry it took me forever to come back, but I'm back. And hopefully next week I will be back talking about Pinocchio. And boy, is that one going to be a doozy to get into. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later and have a great and wonderful night. Bye.